This week's talking point is to do with team fishing. So, team fishing on the whole is on the decline. Is there a future in team fishing, or is it is match fishing left as a solo pursuit?
I think we all know it's on the decline. Are you in that category? It's a shame. I love team fishing. You hear it more in the angling world. Team fishing is on the decline. I can't answer the question. I don't know why. I love it. The anglers I speak to love it, but in the end, it's happening less and less. So to answer your question, I don't know why.
Yeah. So in my particular area, southwest of England, we don't see it as much because what seems to be happening is our league is very strong. So I fish for Daiwa Gordon League. Our league is very strong and the numbers don't seem to be dropping. But in reality, what's happening is leagues in the same sort of area or around our area are actually dropping out. So teams are dropping and there's not enough teams in those leagues for them to stay going. And they're actually joining our league, which is it's leading us in a bit of a false sense of security in a way, because our league's becoming stronger and bigger this year. I think, this year just gone, it's been bigger than ever. I think there was 10 teams 10 teams of 10, so through winter we were fishing 100 peg matches on the Gloucester Canal. 2 years ago we had 25 teams of 4 fishing at the Spring League, 100 peggers again, which are brilliant matches, and they're the matches I go round and fish, try and find big matches. And it was brilliant because the team I was fishing for were taking part in these events all the time.
More northern teams?
No, southwest. So one of the things though that we've noticed is, like, for example, Thatchers have now joined our league. Because their league, I think theirs was the Thames Valley Winter League, and the Super League through the summer, had dropped out, so they'd joined ours. But when you look at the nationals, things like that, the numbers are definitely dropping. There are less and less teams. I think in certain areas there's a bit of a false sense of it doing well.
Concentrating down into
because as you say, it's just concentrating. There are less teams, but they're all joining certain leagues. And for myself, for the last few years, I thought, brilliant, team fishing. There's loads of teams, but it's just because they're joining our league, so it feels like it's growing and growing. When in reality, you're always on sort of, you don't want to upset too many teams. We're in a position where if we see a good angler that we think, we want them to join us, in a way, sometimes we're like, we can't ask that angler to join us because that'll weaken the other team too much.
I think they'll fold. This is a prime example of why, obviously, I've not been inside it, but from the outside looking in with team fishing, there seems to be far too much politics involved.
Yeah.
Especially now there's so much on Facebook and everything. You see people announcing they're changing teams or leaving teams for whatever reason. They're changing sponsors because they feel like... There just seems to be so much extra shit involved in it that you don't need. You kind of just want to go fishing. And I think that's where, obviously, fishing for yourself
it's easier.
Easier,
It's just easier, isn't it? Less clutter going on. Yeah, you've got to have a captain manage.
Well, that's one thing there. The captain, the manager, the secretary, they deserve so much credit because they're organising everything. They're organising the funds that are going into the clubs, organising the events that they need to be, and making sure that you're part of the Angling Trust if you need to be for the Nationals.
Yeah.
Being the ones that put the most work in, they're the ones that are going to get the most shit off the back of it as well, aren't they? It always falls back on them.
Yeah.
Stevie Sanders used to be our captain for Dorking. Then he stepped down and give it to Mark Goddard, the captain now, but Steve does the bits with England. And I know Mark's still massively into his team fishing and gets to, I think they're doing some kind of league now. I couldn't
Division 1 National next week.
Right, okay. So they're still keen as mustard. But I don't know what it is, Jake. Me personally coming from football, I love team fishing.
Yeah.
I love getting there, but I've got to say, so much easier for me to come Wednesdays and do me on Sundays open. Committing as well.
Yeah.
For me, committing's quite hard. Now, I know the anglers I've fished with, they commit. That's their game, So that's probably not the reason. Jack, I couldn't give it to you. But I know as an angler and what I read and what I see, it's definitely drifting. It's definitely getting less and less, and it ain't as competitive. Yeah. That's what I believe. But I can't give you the answer from the outset. I just couldn't give you the reason why. I don't know.
No, I think I'm in a similar position in terms of not knowing the reason why it's happening. One thing I would say is, as a young angler, I found team fishing absolutely amazing. At sort of 15 years old, I was fishing Division 1 Nationals with Warrington and going, and like you said, you were rubbing shoulders with the Dorking team. At that sort of age, I was the Warrington, the Canal boys from Warrington, the people fishing the rivers, Dave Brooks, Helen Dagnall, who were helping those teams out. And you're fishing a Division 1 National, so everyone's tactics are being thrown about. You're going all around the country to fish these big events.
The big money events haven't helped.
Yeah.
No.
But I suppose it's look at the coverage.
It's great for the individual, but they haven't helped the team, surely,
and
because your eyes on that, right?
Yeah.
Your eyes going to be like the users of the world, wheels of the world, and internationals.
Team fishing costs a lot, whereas those individual events, there's the potential of winning big money. So it's like, do I go and spend, well, I'm going on the New Junction Canal, I need all this kit, I need all this bait, I need to travel up there 250 miles 10 times to practice in the build-up, or do I go on a few qualifiers, potentially qualify for a final and potentially win 50 grand? It's like, well, this one's going to cost you a grand.
Is that what you
look at? Yeah, if you look at the coverage as well, for obviously if someone's like 15, 16 coming into match fishing now, you ask them who won the Division 1 National, 99% of them wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't have a clue. And you ask who won Fisho or whatever for the last 3 or 4 years, they'll probably be able to rattle it off and tell you just because of the media coverage.
I'll put that one out there then. What about the international? Is that sort of... I don't hear half as much as the international team as I used to in the AT, and when I'm picking up the papers and this and that. It's sort of gearing really towards these big monies, these Fishermanias, the Match This of the world, the feed them. It's really going, how I see it, the boys I'm rubbing shoulders with, it's going towards them.
Yeah.
It's really smashing towards them.
We had Des on
good,
last
bad
week.
Or indifferent. Is that what he said?
Well, we had Des on, and obviously the England team don't have the sponsorship anymore, so that's going to cause...
Which, by the way, is prestige and elite. I'm not... Listen, once you fish for your country, that is the pinnacle. Yeah. But all of a sudden, we know the money's maybe not there in the international game for the elite, but the money... It's talking 100... It won't be long. There'll be 100, 200 grand prize. 100% there will be. There'll be someone like a Barry Owen come along and go, right, I want to top someone because 100 grand I want. There ain't one going. It won't be long. In the next 5 years, it won't be long. 100%.
I'm sure if Maver sells out totally, isn't that meant to be 100 grand? I think
I'm not sure.
Numbers.
Yeah, potentially.
But you look at now. There's people that are paying like that Dynamite in the mix. That's 125 quid entry for a one-off match.
Yeah.
If people are prepared to pay that, it's only going to go up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you imagine a Maver Match This ticket instead of 50 quid was 100 quid.
Yeah.
Well, straight away you're going from 50
I don't mean
grand
that
to
rudely as well. We're having the 3 lines on your chest, fishing for your country is the elite and the mecca.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. I don't see it as much as I used to. I don't, I don't read about it. I don't hear about it as much as I used to.
As an ex-professional footballer, if you, for example, Gareth Southgate gives you a call, Jimmy, I want you to come and play for England, but you need to pay for your flights, you need to pay for your coach, you need to pay for your boots, your kit.
There it is.
You're not getting paid for it.
And you're not going to get paid.
How
it's all coming out of your pocket.
How, if you fish for your country, this is what I don't understand, it frustrates me. How, if you fish for your country, how are they not getting paid? How is that not happening? You know, sod the fishing world, how is it not UK not going, England going, we've got to sort these boys out?
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest anticipating sports in the world. I don't understand this. They're wearing the 3 lines. It's ridiculous.
When England win a gold medal or a silver medal or a bronze medal or are even out there competing, do you see it on Sky Sports News?
No,
you never
this is
do.
what I'm trying to say.
And that, surely Sky Sports News, it's on. It's.
Especially they've got
you
about
watch
105 channels now, right?
Well, you watch Sky Sports News for an hour. And you see the same stuff repeated 10 times.
True.
Surely they could add a 2-minute thing in there. England fishing, match fishing team.
We should put a demonstration up.
Yeah.
More. How do we say this? Yeah.
Stand outside Sky's work.
But you probably see more
fishing team.
You'll see more bloody like curling or something on Sky Sports.
You do,
you
do.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. It's a shame, and I know they've always banged their head against walls with that, but it's definitely got to come a time. Someone's got to stand in, because I fear that will drift.
Yeah.
The love to fish for your country will drift, and these will take over.
I think that even if it's not through Sky or even on TV, I think there's so much more that could be done with the even online coverage. It doesn't need to be on TV now to get the numbers, to get people interested. But if someone took it on themselves and kind of stepped up a level on the actual coverage online. You look at some of the bass fishing and stuff, they do it like next level, like cameras on every angler.
I honestly don't think, I know it's early and it isn't going to be like that, but we're not far away from that.
Yeah.
You know, it's only going to go one way, this.
Yeah.
100%. This is going to go one way, and as I said, 10 years' time, I think we'd be surprised if we had this chat in 10 years' time. I think there'd be a 2 in front of that.
Yeah.
It could be 200 grand. It won't be long. Honestly, it's going like that. What's the biggest now? 75? Is it Mates who's doing
that
it?
was
it 81 year or 70?
And Rob Wotton won 70 grand.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's getting there, isn't it? Yeah. I think Fisho started at 25, did he? It's 50. What is it? 50 now?
50. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you got all these others. You know, that was fantastic as well, what they've done. That was, what's that, 9-10 grand, the new one coming out?
Yeah,
said?
Silverfish, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's loads of them now. You know, definitely that's going to grow. And it's turning anglers. I was speaking to anglers all the time. It's pricking their ears.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've got to go and chance my arm at this.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. So, another talking point where we've not come to a conclusion and an answer on it, but there's definitely a lot to sort of look into and sort of.
I think from your side of things, you kind of swayed a bit more to the solo side of fishing recently. Or?
Yeah, I drifted from team fishing really just because of my commitments. I couldn't commit, and I was fed up of letting Stevie down. Really,
in that boat, aren't they?
It's
a lot of people.
It's a nightmare of my job, and when I was playing, it's just a nightmare. That's the only thing I'd say with my job. I just couldn't commit for long term. So team drifting, I sort of drifted. And then just love doing. I'm a nightmare for doing the fishing I want to do. You know, I want to go Gold Valley in 2-3. I want to go and sling a waggler for 3, 4, 5 matches, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and then I go down to Puddle Dock. I fancy a bit shallow on the pole. So I want to go and do what I want to do, and it's
team
nice.
Fishing, you
it
can't
grabs
do
me.
that the
no,
same,
of course,
can you?
but there is that. Don't get me wrong. That team fishing is a massive buzz, isn't it?
Yeah, when you know, as a team, when you win something, it is. I don't
fantastic.
think there's any, but I prefer like doing well as a team, winning something. We've just Gunley, we've just been over to Portugal for that World Club Feeder Champs. We did rubbish, but the fact that we qualified and went over there, we wore the 3 lions for that. I thought, it was a brilliant buzz.
Of course,
cost lots of money, but.
It was
thing,
one of them. If it's coming out your own pocket and hurting you, it's like.
You plan on team fishing for the rest of your life, or is that?
I don't know. To be honest, I really enjoy what I'm doing. When I joined Gordon League, I was in sort of a similar situation to Jimmy, where my job doesn't always let me put in. It's a funny one. I work in fishing, but at the same time, I can't always commit to.
Doesn't always work like that.
No, I couldn't just go right. All I'm going to do is fish rivers and canals, because there's so much of my job where I have to be in touch with commercials. I find and I have to sort of fish a bit of everywhere and spread myself about a bit and do a bit of everything. But I love team fishing. I think it's great. I've always done it since a very young age.
They're topping there, Jake. They're topping.
Yeah, a bit.
We're catching shallow.
A lot of junior fishing, and then Warrington, and then now Gordon League. I really enjoy team fishing. How long it'll go on for, I don't know, but I'll always try and do it as long as the time commitments and as long as I'm not sort of saying, well, I can't make it, and I'm not doing the team any justice. Yeah. In the same way that if everything that they're doing fits in.
What, you've been struggling, Jacob, in the old team, yeah? You've been struggling?
Struggling in what way? No, we win everything, to be fair. Every league we're in, we win.
That's a buy, isn't
it?
I was going to say, that's all. Struggling? No. Who, me?
Do you know who I
am? We've got the Division 1 championships this...
I'm the editor of pole fishing. As if I'm going to miss a trick. I'm writing it.
I think some of it's probably that, like the majority of team fishing is natural venues as well, isn't it? I guess.
What about you, Rich? You done team fishing?
No, never.
No.
Like marmatch fishing as a whole, it's like I haven't done it for like 4 years, something like
Oh,
that.
have you?
So you've kind of come into it. There's just not been. I've not like felt drawn to it or anything.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's that everything you see and are around is all the commercial scene, and obviously, as you work up that commercial circuit or whatever you want to call it, you end up at Fisher, you end up at Maeve, you end up at all that side of things.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's where you have to kind of focus your attention somewhere. You can't do everything. So
No,
I
of
think
course.
the majority
100%.
of people coming into it now are going to be in the same position where you just don't hear about any of that team fishing really.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
until that changes, I don't think you're going to get people coming through wanting to do it as much. Just purely.
I
For
bet
not
if he had a
knowing about
slice of it, he'd love it though, wouldn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah,
I'm-
I think he would. I think one thing as well, very similar to the England situation. Tackle companies don't have the money to support the teams like they used to. Teams and angling clubs. I used to, like I said, fish for Warrington Anglers. Warrington Anglers don't necessarily. Well, there isn't a Warrington Anglers match group anymore. They don't go and fish the national. We were always in Division 1. But they're not in there anymore.
Right, okay.
There's not a team, not a Warrington Anglers team that fishes the nationals.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons for that is Warrington Anglers don't necessarily want to put the money in to send them teams and pay the entry and stuff. In terms of the sponsors of other teams, we're lucky that we've got a Daiwa sponsor with Gordon League. Not all tackle companies want to be putting that money in, so
No, I get
that's
it.
another thing that will cause a bit of decline, because if people aren't incentivised, they're not getting a tackle deal through the team that they're fishing for, or they're not getting paid entry into the events, it's another thing that falls back. Well, the money's coming out of my own pocket to do it.
Right.
Lovely.
Kind of rounds it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Leave that one there.
Sweet.